It's Monday, October 16th, 2017, and behind me I have all of the walls framed up. Everything except this window over the porch isn't totally framed out yet because I keep utilizing it like a doorway to carry things in and out of there. But I got the wall above the roof framed all the way back, framed up all of the windows, and next thing to do, I believe, is I'll put the roof rafters up. Alright, so looking at the front here, that window right there is the same size, height, and everything as the windows in the existing cabin. So that'll be 3 feet wide by 4 feet tall. The window going over here eventually will be the same size and all. And these windows over here on the short wall, or these two at least, are going to be 3 feet wide by about 2 feet tall. And that takes us back to the bathroom. Those windows will be 2 feet wide by 19 inches tall. And there's the part of the wall, the left wall, that I extended on top of the existing roof. So the rafters will rest on that and be nailed into that before finally hitting the roof. I've been getting all the rafters cut, ready to nail up. So here's how I'm doing that. I got my first one all measured out and cut so I could use that as a stencil. I'm just placing that on top of a new board. These are 14-foot 2x8s. And so throwing that on top of a fresh board and stenciling out where the cuts are going to be. So starting from this side, this cutout here is the left side of the addition, which is going to rest on and be nailed into a 2x12 that will be running the length of the roof, of the existing roof. Right here we've got our first bird's mouth cut. That will be resting on and nailed into the wall that I built on top of the existing roof. So that wall where I didn't finish framing out the window looks like a door right now. That extends back on top of the existing roof. And that's what that bird's mouth cut will be on. And moving down the rafter, got our second bird's mouth cut right here. That will be resting on and nailed into the short wall on the right there. And then got the cut that squares up the overhang, the eave. This will be parallel to the ground, and this cut will be perpendicular to the ground. So here's what I'm talking about with the 2x12 on the existing roof. So the part of the rafter that's hitting that is the left side of the rafter that I was just pointing out. I'm using rafter ties on the rafters, these metal things. They're not entirely necessary, but definitely a good idea. So what their purpose is you get some high winds coming up under the roof. They're going to want to lift the roof right up off of the wall. And if the rafters are just nailed, or if they're just toe-nailed straight into the top plates, those nails could lift out and your roof will fly away. So I'm in Vermont where, we don't particularly have to worry about tornadoes, but every now and then a hurricane comes through, so it's just a good idea to have these. And they cost less than $1 a piece, so, buy them. So these nail holes you're looking at here, the nails go into the top plates on the walls, and then on the sides, they get nailed into the rafters. Now the rafters are still nailed down through the wood into the top plates, so they're being held in all sorts of ways. So now if the wind wants to take your roof away, you've got your rafters really secured in there to the top plates, and you've got your OSB or your plywood, whatever you have on the outside of the walls, nailed into the top plates. So everything's connected together really well. You'd need some pretty strong hurricane winds, sustained strong winds, to do any real damage. That concludes another successful trip up here. I've got most of the rafters up. The ones that are up there are totally nailed in. I'm focusing on the rafters that connect to the roof of the existing cabin to start with, and then I'll work my way forward towards the part that goes into the porch and over the porch. Because for now, I've got some openings, directly into the existing cabin where I had to cut off the eaves. So I want to get those covered up, hopefully next trip. And then after that, I can work on putting a roof over the porch, getting that closed in, hopefully before it's snowing, but it all depends on how efficient I am. It's going to be nice in here once I get the roof and the walls covered with the OSB, so it'll at least be enclosed. I'll be able to start leaving tools out here and not spending so much time picking up after myself every time I leave. There we go. Those tarps should keep the inside of the cabin dry for now.